Hello, Cougar Nation, and welcome back to River Forest for game number 2 of today's Concordia Soccer doubleheader. Our second round of action is again between the Concordia Chicago Cougars and the St. Norbert Green Knights on the men's side of things, and this has been a very, very different season for both of these squads. St. Norbert Green Knights, they come into this game 6-5 overall, but they have been hot in conference, 4-1 through conference play so far. Very different story on the Cougars side of the ball. Concordia Chicago 1-9-1 overall through the year. They are 0-5 so far through conference, and we'll get into some of the reasons behind that once we get going. We'll run through those starters for your squads as we get going on the Green Knights end of things. In goal today, it's Jackson Kiska. Elsewhere on the field, number 3, Hayden Dunn. Number 6, Davis Vega. Number 7, Everett Sager. Number 8, Ben Swissionis. Number 10, Kevin Ramirez. Number 15, Peyton Shills. Number 22, Will Swissionis. Number 24, Dominic Lagona. And number 20, alongside number 32, Evan Baird. And number 35, Thomas Rondalin. And it'll be St. Norbert's kicking things off in River Forest, and we'll run through those Cougar starters after kickoff. Out at midfield, it's Hayden Dunn. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network. Joining me today is Reagan Espinosa as we get ready to go. Whistle is blown, and we are underway in River Forest for some action. The 4-1 Green Knights taking on the 0-5 Concordia Chicago Cougars. And just to get the elephant out of the room as we get going here today, Reagan, you come into a game, you're going up against a very strong team in conference play, and so far you yourselves are 0-5 in conference. How do the Cougars need to mentally approach today, and what do you need to focus on when you've been sliding and you're going up against a very good team?
I think, honestly, their defensive aspect, I think that has been a major setback when they're playing, especially with their coach, Callahan. He mentions how the transition is not as well. And honestly, just getting goals behind the net, because if you look at their schedule and their scores, they haven't got as many in the net. So just being more creative offensively and being able to be solid defensively as well, just the whole tactic around the game of soccer.
St. Norbert content to pass things around the box and hold possession while they wait for an opening. And now they'll start to push towards an opening. Give and go into the box. No one's there. And Gudjol comes over to it and picks it up to get things going. And you mentioned there the Cougars struggling to score. On the season as a whole, Concordia Chicago, they scored 16 goals. The majority of those, well, the biggest single game performance of those, 6 came from their game, their only win of the season, a 6-2 win over Andrews University, an NCCAA school, back in their second game of the year. You exclude that game, they've scored 10 goals on the season, and in conference play, they have only scored 6. They've been shut out in 2 of their last 4, a 6-0 loss to MSOE and a 3-0 loss to Aurora. So offensive struggle is certainly part of it. Part of the slide for Concordia Chicago. Over on St. Norbert's end, dominant run as of late. As there's a long ball into the box, Gudjol leaps to pick it down. You go through conference play, started with a 5-0 win at Marion, a 3-1 win at Illinois Tech, a 3-1 win against Wisconsin Lutheran, their one loss of the conference slate, and 1-0 loss to Dominican University. And then they got back on track with a 3-0 win over Rockford on Wednesday. Dunn heads that over towards the sideline. Sager will lay it back to his defense. Come over the near side. Rondalin trying to get it upfield. That's the first errant pass we've seen today from St. Norbert. Brought down by Klausic. No one there from the Cougars to pick up the loose ball, and it's back over to the Green Knights. Sager trying to work to the corner. Wangandu takes it away. And loose ball goes straight to St. Norbert's. And there's that transition struggle that you just mentioned there, Reagan. Those takeaways on defense and not translating to possession on offense.
Yeah, and a lot of times we see CUC have a solid defense in the beginning, and as the game goes on, they take off their pedal from the gas. And honestly, I just think I'm curious to see how it goes this game, especially against a solid team in the conference.
Yeah, you can look at the stat sheets. Cougars, they've given up 38 goals on the year, and it's not necessarily indicative of a bad defense. Like you mentioned, a lot of it's been the pressure is on this defense for almost all 90 minutes of the game. As now Dunn into the box, rips it. It's loose in front of the net, cleared away by Kale. Good save by Gudjol. And now the Cougars trying to push the pace, get the ball past midfield, but it's over with the Green Knights. Yeah, just this Cougars defense under a lot of pressure, a lot of duress for the majority of the games they've been playing as of late. You can see how that wear and tear affects the defense. Cougars on the year, they've given up 14 goals in the first half, 24 goals in the second half. Pass to Dunn, intercepted by Castaneda. Kale can't get it past the sliding Ramirez. Gutierrez swings it to Hernandez. Hernandez looking to go somewhere, just sends it back to Gutierrez. Ocampo under double pressure and loses possession, taken away by Evan Baird. Swissionis sends that upfield. And it'll end up out of bounds. Long ball towards the corner, looking for Laguna. Laguna brings it down. He's double teamed in the corner. Now it's just Hernandez, gets the cross in, but it's chipped out by Gutierrez. Klausic touches that down to Ocampo. Ocampo slows it down, short roller to Kale, and the Cougars are going to have to slow it down and reset. Back to Gudjol, back to Gutierrez. Now Gutierrez, under pressure, gets rid of it to Sinise. Fernandez back to Gutierrez. We'll see if they'll try the right side of the field now. Velasquez over to Wangandu. Wangandu tries to go up the sidelines, flicked up, and kicked out of bounds by Swissionis. Will Swissionis, one of the three Swissionis on this St. Norbert roster. All three, the Swissionis trio out of LaGrange Park, Illinois. Will and Ben starting today for the Green Knights. Jack on the bench. KO, give and go to Castaneda. Hernandez, a little bit of breathing room, gets it up to Klausic at the top of the box. Klausic brings it down, tries to get it to someone, eventually is able to get it to Hernandez. Hernandez going towards the top, gets it to Castaneda. Castaneda has to go all the way back to Gutierrez. It'll be a reset. Kale looking to get it to Hernandez. It's broken up, and this ball slowly getting pushed further and further and further back until it's all the way now at Nathan Gudjol on the edge of the box. Gudjol will just boom that one downfield, knocked down and taken by Ben Swissionis, but then it's taken away by Ocampo. Looking for Klausic. Klausic's one-on-one with the keeper, and he doesn't get the shot off. KO, the second opportunity, it's off the crossbar. Now Sinise on the right side goes across, knocked down. Another shot from Castaneda, and finally play is stopped, and the Cougars are going to be killing themselves for that one. And St. Norbert's is going to be sweating on the sideline as Kiska is still down and rolling. Took a hard hit to what looks like his shin and ankle. Trainer out to check on Kiska. But you can see the official, you don't stop play to interrupt a possession. The Cougars able to get 4 shots off on a net that doesn't have a keeper, and only one of them ends up even close to being on frame.
Yeah, no, that's the offensive play and creativity we need to see throughout this game, especially with this type of team. So I think CUC did a great job finding that option. It's just a matter of fact of finishing into the net.
Yeah, Cougars hopefully will be able to create more opportunities like that, but you don't get an opportunity like that very often. It stays scoreless through 8 as they continue to check on Kiska. We'll be back in just a minute on the Cougar Sports Network. And we're back in River Forest. Jackson Kiska, he's still hobbling a little bit in the penalty box, but he's staying in the game as he gets it out to his defense. Taking up the far side is Ben Swissionis. Rondalin looking central. Dunn trying to track it down. Wangandu takes possession. Nice play by Wangandu, and he'll lose it out of bounds. But it's off of St. Norbert's. That'll be the Cougars' possession. Headed down, Dunn trying to get that upfield. Cougars take it away. Ocampo trying to get it over to KO. Not too much sauce on it, but it ends up working out. Gutierrez over to Hernandez. Hernandez switching the fields all the way over to Wangandu, who takes too long of a touch and is taken away by the Green Knights. St. Norbert's just fighting to keep possession. Cougars take it away. Iffy pass from KO. It's taken away by the Green Knights again. These two squads trading possession back and forth. Long ball downfield, looking for Vega. Taken away. Here's Ocampo. Plenty of space for Justin Ocampo. And a poor pass out of bounds by Delgado. And possession goes back to the Green Knights. Both of these squads just making small mistakes with their passing right now. That's just causing them to just trade that possession back and forth. Swissionis swings that all the way across, gets over to Rondalin. Rondalin swings back line. Again, stepping up is Will Swissionis. Back over to Thomas Rondalin, the freshman out of Tonsberg, Norway. Wangandu steps on it. No one gets possession. Sliding play from Gio Velasquez to clear it out, and St. Norbert's will reset from midfield. Chip into the box. Gudioh comes out for it. Slaps it down. It's still loose, and Gudioh picks it up. Cougars catch a break. And St. Norbert can't convert on the open goal opportunity. Swung over to Viga. Viga taking the space and is finally taken away. Wangandu working towards the sideline. And it'll end up out of bounds. There's another long ball. It'll end up out of bounds. Throw in for the Green Knights. St. Norbert slowing down possession right now. It's probably for the best for both teams, as we had some messy football for a bit there. Ko gets it to Ocampo. Cougars switch the fields to create space. Ocampo down sideline for Hernandez. Hernandez triple teamed, loses it out of bounds. All the way back to Roundalen. Swung over to Swissionis. And up to the younger Swissionis. Ramirez does a spin, goes middle, looking for Dunn. It's taken away. Wangandu trying to get it to Klausic, taken away. Down line, looking for Dunn. Hayden Dunn turning towards the box. Into the box. Cross, loose in front of the goal, and KO is going to get it with a lot of space on the near side. Carrying it out of the defensive third all the way close to midfield. Ocampo slows things down, passes it back to his defense. Hernandez trying to switch field. Didn't get the angle on it he needed to. Wangandu has to track back for it. Taken away. Dunn now. Taking the space. Getting it to Viga. Into the box. Gudioh comes out for it and falls on top of it. Nice step from the keeper. Ko loses possession of that again. Gutierrez swings it over to Velasquez. Both these teams just playing a possession battle with their defenses as of late. Long ball from Wangandu, brought down by Klausic. Klausic down the sideline, playing to Delgado. Delgado going back to Klausic. Trying to get it in. Nobody's there. But a poor pass is going to keep possession with the Cougars. Ocampo applying pressure. Swung over to Roundalen. Roundalen, he's looking upfield. He's looking for a pass. Lot of time. And he'll just pass it over to Laguna. Back and forth. Baird down line trying to get Swissionis taken away by the Cougars. Delgado looking for Klausic. He'll go back to Wangandu. Wangandu back to Klausic, back to Delgado. Back to Klausic, taken away. Out of bounds, throw in Concordia. gotta say, just through the first 15 minutes of the game, it has not been the dominant start that St. Norbert likely would have expected or wanted here today. That ball headed down, pressure from Velasquez, and they'll tag him with the foul. Quick kick from the Green Knights to get things going again. Roundalin looks middle up to Ramirez, and he'll just swing back to Will Swissionis.
No, yeah, CUC has been doing a great job holding them, especially with all the stats St. Norbert's put on board.
And Castaneda just tripped over thin air. And he's going to give up a free kick as he trips Dunn on his way down. So free kick from straight away, 35 yards out for the Green Knights. Castaneda makes a mistake. Cougars going to hope it's not a costly one. Setting up for the kick is Kevin Ramirez. The Green Knights send 5 to the top of the box. Make that 6 as they all crash in. It's low, straight. Gudioh finally picks it up after bobbling it for a second. And the mistake is not costly. Game stays 0-0 as Gudioh throws that out to Hernandez. Downfield to Kale. Kale going central to Castaneda. Over to Hernandez. Hernandez switching field again behind Wangandu. Wangandu cutting back, cutting up. Trying to keep possession and gets over to Delgado. Now Delgado to Wangandu. Loose ball taken by the Green Knights. Swung over to Baird. Rondalin. Now Rondalin's making a run into the corner. They'll try to get it to him. Hernandez steps on it and clears it out. Baird over to Rondalin, back to Baird. And St. Norbert, they couldn't get one possession going. They'll hold possession on the defensive front again. Long ball over to Rondalin. Blocked down by Castaneda, and possession's taken away. Pass up to Klausic. Klausic's pass back is weak, but they're going to tag a foul on Vega. And we have a free kick for the Cougars. Velasquez over to Wangandu. Wangandu down the sideline to Delgado. Back to Wangandu. Risky pass back. And Wangandu sends it out of bounds. Cougars trap themselves on the sideline, and they'll lose possession for it. Long ball looking downfield. Gudioh's out of the goal. Nice block by Velasquez to keep Vega's shot from going in. He deflects it out of bounds on the slide. It'll be a corner kick for the Green Knights, but they don't score. Gudioh comes out for it, is a bit late, and falls down in the process. You don't see plays like that too often in a soccer game. We've seen now one of those from each squad today. As we get one substitution for St. Norbert. Setting up for the corner kick is Hayden Dunn. And now we're going to get a substitution for Concordia Chicago. Wangandu heads out of the game. And here we go. Dunn puts it in. And the Cougars block it down. Dunn tries to play it back in, out of bounds, again off of the Cougars. So he'll get a second try at the corner. Dunn setting up for the kick. Quick kick. Zulagona. Now Dunn plays it on frame. Easy pickup for Gudioh. And the Cougars survive that threat as Gudioh rolls it out to Velasquez. Long ball over to Kale. Kale brings it down. Looking towards the corner. Has Hernandez on his backside. He goes to Ocampo. Ocampo to Hernandez. Hernandez back to Ocampo. Ocampo back to the defense. Gutierrez over to Velasquez as the Cougars backtrack. They continue to backtrack. Gutierrez taking the space, and he's got a good run. Past midfield, he'll get it to Kale. Kale, quick shorter, and then it's going to go into the corner for Gutierrez. Gutierrez into the box, and the cross doesn't get to any Cougars. That'll be brought down by Dunn. St. Norbert takes possession as they turn a great run from Daniel Gutierrez into a clear. Badillo looking for Delgado in the corner. Delgado tries to keep it in, out of bounds, but it'll be a corner kick for Concordia Chicago. Cougars, their first corner opportunity of the day. Arms up. Kicks up to the front of the box and knocked down by the Green Knights. And Dunn going to push it upfield. Gutierrez over to Velasquez. Velasquez swinging to Kale on the near side. Kale tries to cut back. Nice tapper by Shills to keep it with the Green Knights. Gutierrez back over to Velasquez, and the Cougars have backtracked. They've spread the field again. Hernandez to Castaneda. Now Velasquez over to Gutierrez. We'll go back to Velasquez. A lot of space for Gio Velasquez. He's just kind of standing there. And now he'll cross it over to Gutierrez. And Gutierrez, he's backtracking himself. He's able to get it over to Klausic, and they'll throw the flag up. They'll say it's out of bounds. Throw in St. Norbert's. Long throw. Cleared upfield by Velasquez. Delgado's kick is knocked up, and they'll blow the whistle on Castaneda for throwing an elbow. Quick kick from the Green Knights to get it back into play. Just under 20 minutes to go in half number one. It's a 0-0 game in River Forest. Viga brings that down. Dunn can't take possession. Kale's kick is blocked down. Now Velasquez under pressure, lays it over to Klausic. And Klausic's going to send a long ball looking for Sinise headed forwards. Delgado gets the rebound, gets it to Ocampo. A lot of space for Ocampo. Sends it to Kale. Kale has Hernandez on his backside. Gets it to Hernandez. Hernandez! Nice slide from Davis Vega to take possession. Cougars set up a good attack. Davis Vega takes advantage of a second of hesitation. And the Green Knights have the ball back. Vega passing it back to his back line and Evan Baird. Swung back over to Baird. Baird going upfield to Engel. Now looking for Dunn in the box. Gudiol steps on it and picks it up. Gudiol slowing things down, rolls it out to Hernandez. They'll try to cross the field to Velasquez. Now Castaneda will take possession. Has Dunn on his back, lays it off to Delgado. Goes back to Klausic. Klausic's pass upfield is broken up. Taken away by Lagona. Lagona gets it to Baird, gets it to Schwade. Over to Engel. Engel still has possession. He's going to backtrack and lay it out. Schwade. Back to Engel, into Dunn. Dunn into the box. Chips it up and out of bounds for a goal kick. Badillo, quick short to Kale. Kale back to Gutierrez. Gutierrez over to Velasquez. Velasquez trying to get it up to Castaneda. Castaneda cutting middle. Lays it back to Gutierrez. Gutierrez over to Hernandez. Hernandez looking down the sideline. Gets it to Kale. Kale inside to Castaneda. Castaneda going to switch fields for Klausic. Klausic brings it down. Goes back to Velasquez as the Cougars backtrack. Gutierrez back to Velasquez. Now they'll go all the way back to Gudiol. Spreading the field as much as they can as Gudiol sends a long ball for Kale. It's over the head of Vega, and it's going to get out of bounds. Vega makes a mistake, but it works out anyways for St. Norbert, as they'll throw it in to Swissionis. Roundalin passing back and forth with Schwade. Just under 15 to go in half number one. There's a long ball looking for either Dunn or Schwade. And it's going to get passed back all the way to Roundalin. This Green Knights defense holding possession as it gets swung over to Baird. Baird has Vega to his right, and he'll lay it off to Vega. Vega back to midfield to Swissionis. Will Swissionis over to the sideline. And they'll go back to Swissionis. Green Knights team slowly trying to lull the Cougars to sleep. Rondallen to Baird. Baird to Rondallen. Swissionis slowly moving up, gets that upfield. Here they go, the Green Knights. Sager down to the goal line, into the box. Sager puts it in. Loose ball taken by Velasquez as he passes it upfield to Delgado. Delgado, long ball looking for Sinise. Rondallen's going to get there first. Sinise just a step behind it. The pass back to the goalie is botched. Kiska barely able to save it. Quick throw in for the Green Knights. Gutierrez heads it out of bounds just to give his team time to backtrack. A lot of things happening in the last minute, and suddenly the Green Knights are threatening. Will Swissionis setting up for a long throw-in. Swissionis lets it fly into the box. Down, loose! And Gugio picks it up. Done. And what looks like Schwade whiff was going to get headed straight back down. There's an angle on the whiff. Now Klausic almost loses possession. It's knocked over to Delgado. Delgado upfield to Badillo. Over to Delgado. Possession taken away by Schwade. KO trying to take possession from Viga. Viga works his way around him, but they'll blow a whistle on Viga for a hook. And the Cougars will get a free kick at midfield. Ocampo to Gutierrez. Now Ocampo feints to Velasquez, goes to Hernandez. Hernandez upfield to KO. Try to get the give and go, but it's too far to the left. Angulo trying to work his own way coast to coast, and he's just going to pass it out of bounds. And here we go. We got a line change pretty much for the Green Knights. 6 on, 6 off. As head coach Derek Rhodes tries to get some fresh legs on the field. A couple of subs coming in for Concordia Chicago as well, with just over 10 minutes to go in half number one. KO trying to track down that loose ball. Goes to Badillo. Badillo trying to go outside. This is going to get swung back to Klausic. Klausic swinging over to Gutierrez. Gutierrez has some space. Splits it for KO. KO trying to stay with it. Loose ball goes to Castaneda. Upfield trying to go to Figueroa. Possession taken away by St. Norbert. Jack Schwade does a spin, passes it over to Swissionis. Swissionis now to the near side. Rondallen. Long ball downfield, looking for Coleman. Coleman in! Nice save by Gudjo as he punches it out of the box. Angulo chips that up. Still loose up in the air. That's knocked out of bounds, deflected off of Sada. A nice play in the middle by Castaneda. It's a throw-in for Concordia Chicago as Velasquez comes over to make the throw. So Velasquez likely looking to make a long throw. Goes to Ocampo. Ocampo tries to chip it over the man on his back. Now it's going to be loose in the middle. Swung over to Dursky. Dursky loses possession. Engel sends it back to Swissionis on the defensive line. There's a long run in, ends up just getting passed back to Schwade. Schwade over to Engel. Engel, his pass is blocked down by Ocampo. Ocampo putting pressure on Engel, forced him to just pass it back to Roundalin. Cougars defense not giving the Green Knights any good opportunities. Engel wants someone, just passes it back to Swissionis on the defense. Long chip into the box. Guddio coming out on it. It's still loose. And it's wide of the net. Whistle's blown for a foul. Likely on taking out the keeper anyways. And it'll be a free kick for the Cougars in the middle of the box. It seems to be the only thing that the Green Knights have been able to get going, Reagan, is just setting up these long possessions before they finally just send in a long ball and have all their forwards crash into the box on it.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like CUC has done a great job, like, accommodating to that, especially. And they're playing similar to play. They're also possessing, and then when they find a chance, they're finding that through ball or those overlaps around the back.
Guddio gets reset, sets up the free kick, and he'll boom it away. Cougars playing with the wind this half. So you have a strong northern wind blowing out that direction today. Gutierrez to Ocampo. A lot of space for Ocampo. Engel on his back, passing down line. Now let's get that pass back to Ocampo. Ocampo over to Castaneda. Castaneda to Hernandez. Now Hernandez down line. Pass broken up. Hernandez keeps it in. Still with the Cougars. Bounce around. Finally taken by Schwade. But his pass is into empty territory as Pelayo watches it go out of bounds. Now the Cougars will take the throw. Velasquez touches that down. Has a second. Now spin it around to Guddio. The Green Knights push up. Guddio sets up a run and booms it. Roundalin heads it straight back to where it came from. Breaking away is Sada. Gets it to Dursky. Dursky looking for somewhere to go. Just passes it back to the defense off the mark from Swissionis. Takes him a few extra steps to get there. Schwade. Space. Long ball to the far side. Headed over to the sideline by Klausic. Long ball into the box again. And this one ends up out the goal line. This will be a goal kick for Guddio. Just over 5.5 minutes to go in half number one. We're still scoreless in River Forest. Gutierrez, ball up the middle. Badillo tries to chip it over his shoulder, goes over the wrong shoulder. Now the Cougars trying to apply pressure as Roundalin tracks that back. Roundalin just goes to Kiska, and Kiska kicks it away. Kiska is furious at his defense. We've seen a lot of messy plays as they pass it back, and he's starting to get sick of it. It's off the back of Hernandez's head, pass down in the corner. It's going to be deflected out of bounds. Gutierrez was adamant that it was off of Coleman. They'll say it's off of Gutierrez. This will be a throw-in down by the box for St. Norbert. You can see they send in their 6'4" big man, Thomas Roundalin, into the box for the long throw. Swissionis sets up for it. Swissionis goes for a run, lets it fly. Down in the box, Dursky trying to turn it. Dursky towards the goal line, blocked out by Velasquez. Figueroa can't keep it in. It'll be another throw for St. Norbert's, this time from the far side. Long throw from Swissionis. Gudiol grabs it out of the air. Good play by the keeper as he rolls that out to Hernandez. Under 4 to go in the first half. Hernandez lets a long one fly for Ocampo. Nice knockdown by Swissionis. That's laid central to Escher. Figueroa brings it down. I'll just get batted all the way up high to Laguna. Laguna back to Swissionis. To Schwade, to Rondalen. Anguil, lot of space in the middle, and he's just going to boot it out the goal line. As he pulls up his jersey and hangs his head in it. Under 3 to go in the first half as Gudiol sets up to send it away. Velasquez, messy play. Gudiol just has to run out and boot it away. Gio Velasquez gets a bit too tricky with it, has it kicked away, and Gudiol's there to pick it up. Swissionis going to send a long ball of his own. Velasquez heads that down. Dursky trying to make a run. Rondalen, middle. Loose ball, Schwade chasing, Schwade, chip central. Long shot, wide right. Sada lined it up and rifled it. And it was just off the mark. Sorry, that's Peyton Schills who rifled it. No, that is Sada. That is Alex Sada who rifled it wide. Under 2 minutes to go in half number 1. Hernandez's pass broken up, taken away by Anguil, trying to go central. KO breaks that up. Ocampo now trying to take possession. Whistle blown as he's taken down by Anguil. So Cougars will get a free kick from their own side of the field. Gutierrez gets things going. Ocampo down the line for Pelayo. Back to Ocampo. And he'll let this one go long to Figueroa. And they're going to call him offsides. Figueroa just a step out ahead of the defense. So with a minute to go, the Green Knights will have a free kick from their own side. They get it to Rondalen. Rondalen, a long ball downfield. It'll get out of bounds for a goal kick. 30-ish seconds to go for Gudiol, as he has 2 balls. One of them gets kicked out of bounds again. So the Cougars likely content with taking this one to the half. Gudiol sets it up and sends it away. Knocked down, Schwade upfield to Anguil. Anguil chips that one to the top of the box. It's headed backwards by Klausic. Last second shot from Sada, saved by Gudiol, nearly a buzzer beater. As Gudiol brings it down, that brings us to the end of the half in River Forest, which means it's time for a fun fact. There is no possessive in St. Norbert's name. It is just St. Norbert College. And just like that, neither of these teams have possession of a lead in River Forest. It's 0-0 as we head to the break. We'll be back on the Cougar Sports Network for half number 2 between the Green Knights and the Cougars. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. We're here in River Forest for half number 2 of today's action between the St. Norbert Green Knights and the Concordia Chicago Cougars. St. Norbert's coming into today 4-1 in conference, looking to win their second consecutive conference game in the row. The Cougars coming into today 0-5 in conference, looking to pick up their first conference win. And so far, neither team is on track for that. We're tied 0-0 as we get ready to go in the second half between the Cougars and the Green Knights. These two squads out on the field and ready to roll. It'll be the Cougars kicking off for half number 2. Through the first half, Cougars 3 shots, none on goal. For the Green Knights, 8 shots, 5 on goal. Nathan Guggio, 5 saves in the first half, and he had some pretty spectacular ones. Well, he did that. As Michael Sinise heads to midfield. Gets ready to go. He has Kale to his left. Klausic and Delgado to his right, and he'll get things going by going backwards. Dunn quickly out of the gates to put pressure on Castaneda. And Reagan, once as we get going in half number 2 here, what adjustments do both teams need to make to try and break through the defense? And we'll actually get your take on that in a second. St. Norbert's quickly into the box. Dunn crosses and out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick. So, yeah, still scoreless. So what adjustments do both of these teams need to make to break through and get on the board?
I think, honestly, both teams are playing very similar. They're holding the ball for a long time once they personally have possession. So, honestly, just finding that ball that needs to be played to get into the attacking third so they could get a shot off the goal. Because defensively, they've both been really strong and solid, especially with all the saves for CUC. So, ultimately, just getting the ball in the back of the net to get on top.
Wangandu under pressure, trying to turn around, finally gets turned around. Trying to pass it upfield, broken up, taken away by St. Norbert. Sager doing some circles, looking towards the corner. Now he'll lay it back to Laguna. Give and go. Laguna outside of the box, has some space. Top of the box, into the box, rips it straight at Guggio. Stays 0-0. That throw out to Delgado, brought down. Laguna trying to take it away. And they'll blow the whistle on Laguna as Delgado goes to ground, holding his foot. And Delgado's up. Takes a couple steps and jogs downfield. A bit of a limp. The defense gets things going over to Gutierrez on the far side. Gutierrez to Hernandez on the sideline. Hernandez into space down the sideline. Hernandez moving to the middle, and he's forced off ball. Hernandez tries to scramble to escape possession. Kale there and didn't hear the whistle. There is a whistle, foul called on Hernandez. Ball over to Laguna. Laguna down line. Wangandu stepping, pressuring. Pass through, looking for Dunn. Dunn putting pressure on it. They'll blow the whistle. That went out of bounds as it was mid-air. It'll be a throw-in for St. Norbert. Viga moving middle, swinging over to Swissionis. Swissionis moving up, running over to Laguna. Laguna into the corner, and that's booted out of bounds by Wangandu. The Green Knights very strong out of the gate in half number 1. Swissionis, long throw to the front of the box. It's down and shanked. Well over the net. That looked to be something like a 70, 75 degree angle off the foot of Joe Angwell. Hernandez does a little jig, passes it off to Kale on the sideline. Gutierrez up the middle to Sinise. Sinise to the sideline to Kale. Kale to Ocampo. Ocampo upfield. And they're going to blow Klausick for being offsides. And Klausick was not offsides. The Green Knights catch a break. And they get things going immediately, but a tough break for CUC. As it looked pretty clearly, Klausick was being held onside by the near side defender. Klausick applying pressure on the defense. Castaneda taking it away, and the Cougars forcing a fast break. Castaneda laying that down to Kale. And Klausick finally draws the whistle. As the official deliberating in his head for a long time if he was going to blow it on Baird for grabbing Klausick. And now the Cougars, a great opportunity. Free kick from about 30 yards out on the far sideline. They load the top of the box. Kicks up and high. Kiska out for it. And they're going to blow the whistle for making contact with the keeper. So Kiska will kick it away. Long ball downfield. Cut in for Dunn! Falling on by Gudiel. Dunn and the rest of the North wanted a handball. The official saying no. And Gudiel is going to roll it out to himself, take a step, set it up, and boot it away. And he's going to boot it out of bounds, so Gudiel got tricky with it, and it's not going to pay off. Long throw from Swissionis, headed down by Velasquez. Sada steps on it. Passed over to Angwell. Angwell, straight, long rip! And buries it in the back of the net. Joe Angwell from 25 out. A laser to make it a 1-0 lead. The Green Knights have been trying to find a way to create a shot in the box all day. They finally rip one from outside of it, and it gives them the lead 1-0. Hernandez on the far side sends a deep ball downfield. Klausick knocks it down, keeps it in.
Yeah, it seems like coming off from the first half and into the second half, St. Norbert has become more aggressive in the box and just taking those shots as they create more opportunities each play.
Long throw going to go to nobody. It's going to go all the way out the goal line. So Gudiel will send it away. Velasquez. Space to the near side. Tries to rip a long ball. Looking for Delgado. Headed forward by Lagona. Dunn slides to make contact with that. Velasquez steps on it. Delgado. Quick pass to Ocampo. Give and go to Delgado. Delgado trying to stay with it downfield. And they're quick to blow the whistle on that one. It'll be a free kick for Swissionis. Long ball, looking downfield for Sada. They'll keep it in the corner. Gets past Wangandu, crosses it in. It's down, cleared out by Velasquez. Ocampo brings it down. Ocampo looking for a long ball towards the right to Klausic. Didn't get the power on it that he wanted. Knocked down by Hernandez. Ramirez. Moves it over to the right. Viga. Swung over to Lagona. Lagona. Disrupted by Ocampo. Delgado takes possession. Delgado up to Ocampo. Ocampo lays over to Delgado. Delgado on the near side. Goes back to Ocampo. Ocampo over to Velasquez. Velasquez gets it over to Castaneda. Passes back to Gutierrez. Tries to swing it over to Kale. Kale. He'll swing it to Velasquez. Now Velasquez will swing it to Ocampo. The Cougars making a rainbow arc as they'll swing that back over to Hernandez. Brings it down. Up to Kale. Kale takes it backwards to Castaneda. Castaneda into Sinise. Sinise trying to get in the box, and they'll blow the whistle on Kevin Ramirez for tripping. So that'll set up a free kick for Concordia right outside of the box. Cougars have had a couple great opportunities today. This will be another one of them. Velasquez will take the kick. 3-man wall, 4 defenders marking the 4 Cougars on the backside. Kick is up and just high off the crossbar into the goalpost. Velasquez sent it just a bit too high. And it looked like it'll be a goal kick. The official blows the whistle to stop the clock, and he's going to talk to the line judge now. And yeah, it's a goal kick. Not sure what the confusion was on that, but they make the correct call. Quickly played out. Ball through Wangandu, tracking it down! And they catch a break. It's off of Sada straight into Gugio's arms. Gudio. His kick is brought down by Lagona. Ocampo sends that downfield, headed forwards, taken by Baird. Gutierrez tries to get to Hernandez, taken away. Viga trying to stay with it. Anguil Slowly working his way to the corner, under double pressure, crosses it in. Gugio comes out and picks it up. Nathan rolls it to Velasquez. Out to Ocampo, and it's a poor pass. Dunn at the top of the box. Dunn moving right, rips it! Punched up, and Sada can't get a clean shot off on the rebound. Gugio looks at his glove, spits on him, and gets some grit back. Kale on the far sideline, can't keep it in. The official not looking to the line judge. And now they're going to blow the whistle for the throw-in. And Kale's upset that the whistle was blown that late, and it's not the first time that's happened today. The center official hasn't looked to the line judge, and now they're going to stop play and give Isaac Hernandez a yellow card. I'll give the Green Knights a free kick from about 30 yards out on the far sideline. Green Knights stack the top of the box. High kick into the mixer. Velasquez knocks it down. Ramirez catches it but can't get a shot off. Ocampo touches it over to the sideline to Kale. Kale passing back to Hernandez. Back up to Kale. Back to Hernandez. Boots it down the sideline out of bounds. Long throw, knocked down by Ramirez. KO trying to fight for it, out of bounds off of Kale. Ramirez will set it down. They'll bring Swissionis up for the throw. Swissionis gonna let it fly deep. And that's out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick. And it looks like they give a card to Caleb Kale for chirping at the official. The Cougars starting to get frustrated with the officials. Long punt to midfield. Velasquez goes to ground. Baird into the corner. Gutierrez breaks it up. It's out of bounds. And they'll call it offsides. Gugio sends that away. And they'll blow the whistle on a foul somewhere in there. Free kick for the Cougars. Ocampo quickly gets it out to Velasquez, who calls for his players. Delgado comes onto it. Delgado back to Velasquez, who goes over it and has to pass it back to Guddio. Cougars starting to get a little messy. Velasquez back to Guddio. And Guddio's going to boom it straight away down the field. Klausic brings it down, gets it past Viga. Swissionis over to Laguna. Laguna back to Swissionis. And Swissionis sends it away. Sinise comes back onto it. It's out of bounds off of Laguna. It will be a throw for the Cougars. Wangandu comes up for it. Up Delgado. Sinise looking for Wangandu. Wangandu is already upfield. Swissionis, the quick throw. Castaneda goes to Ocampo. Can't touch it cleanly. And pass back to Kiska. Ocampo putting pressure on him. Sinise pressuring the pass to Swissionis, who sends it away. Looking for Dunn. Gutierrez bats it back up the other way. Long ball looking downfield. Velasquez takes possession and turns it. Gutierrez. Long ball downfield. And they're going to blow the whistle on Sinise for fouling Laguna. Sinise not too happy with it. Long ball disrupted by Hernandez. Nice play to slide and take away possession. Ocampo midfield, gets it past a sliding defender, looking for Kale on the far side. Kale down into the corner, top of the box. Kale cuts, rips, saved by Kiska. Good run and shot by the freshman. First shot on goal of the day for the Cougars. They've gotten a lot of opportunities. Finally get one to go on frame, and it's saved by the keeper. Long ball into the box, brought down by Dunn. And Velasquez will take it. A lot of space for Gio Velasquez. He'll stop up, send it over to Delgado. Delgado back to Velasquez, has a man on his back. It's broken up. Ocampo disrupts that pass. Pass down to Kale. Kale down the sideline. Looking for Castaneda, and it's too far to the sideline. It goes out of bounds. About 15 minutes in, about 20 minutes into half number 2, 25 to go in the game. We get a few subs for St. Norbert. It's turned and thrown backwards. Swissionis moving up. Over to Laguna. Laguna under pressure from Delgado. Swings it over to Vernig. Vernig to Baird, over to Laguna. It's triangle passing drills. They go back to Vernig. Now Vernick takes some space, booms it. Long ball downfield, looking for Shills. And it's disrupted by Guddio, kept in by Gutierrez, who will pass it downfield to Castaneda. Kale on the far side has some space. Kale into central, gets it, trying to go to Badillo. Delgado comes over to it. Delgado waits for some space to get created. Kale, poor touch. And Swissionis goes to ground. The ref gives a warning to Caleb Kale, and they're going to stop the clock as Swissionis takes his time to get up. And it looks like Swissionis is just fine as he walks to the middle of the field. So some good news for the St. Norbert's defensive line on what could have been a very scary play. And it's a quick free kick off from Kiska. Swissionis right back to it, makes a strong pass over to the near sideline. Velasquez passes back to Gudiow. Gudiow to midfield. Ocampo under it, goes down, and possession's taken by Dursky. Dursky back to Swissionis. Swissionis. Pass is broken up by Ocampo. Swissionis picks up the rebound. Kiska will sit with it at the top of the box. Send it over to Vernig. Vernig down the middle of the field. Gets it to Shills. Shills. Little bit of space. Breaks through to the corner. Looking central. Dunn has some time. Shot. Knocked down by Gudiow. He dives on the rebound. And they've given Gio Velasquez a red card. I missed what happened. They're immediately calling for the trainers. As they check on an injured Green Knight. We'll take a break here at the Cougar Sports Center. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. So a red card given to Gio Velasquez on a aggressive penalty away from the ball is what we believe happened. So it will be a penalty kick in the middle in the penalty box. Dominic Lagona, the fouled player from St. Norbert, looked like he was setting up for the PK. And it will be Lagona. Chance to double the Green Knights' lead. And after the penalty kick, the Cougars will have to play a man down. So they'll be up against adversity for the rest of the match. So the official finally comes back from explaining things to the Cougars coaching staff, who understandably had some questions. Laguna lines it up. One, two, shot! Saved by Gudio! And they're saying it fully crossed the line. So now we're going to have some more deliberation. The line judge is calling it a goal. Now the ball has to fully cross the line. It got trapped under Gudio's legs, but it didn't look like it went far enough to go over, and they're going to make them redo the kick. You don't see this very often, so the officials can't make the call, so they'll have the Green Knights redo the kick, and they'll have a different taker this time, and Gudio can't save this one. So the Green Knights get a second chance. Gudio is furious, and understandably so, and the Green Knights' entire bench celebrates that goal. And now we're going to have to see how well the Cougars can dig deep after everything goes against them.
Yeah, especially with the man down, they're going to have to definitely be able to cover that and be able to create more opportunities for themselves.
Castaneda sends that over to Delgado, headed down by Laguna. Laguna moving to the middle. Ball down to the corner. And they'll tag Kale for a tripping foul. So it'll be another free kick for the Green Knights. The Cougars fan section starting to get restless. Ball all the way over and out of bounds. So going back to that penalty, what either happened is they say the ball went all the way over the line, or the line judge was arguing that Gudio moved off of the line early, which is a very tough judgment call as we get a substitution in goal for the Green Knights. As into the game is Aiden Martinez Ponce. Ball out of bounds. That'll be a throw in for the Cougars. 21 and a half minutes to go in the game. And honestly, at this point, it feels like the priority for the Cougars is minimizing the damage. You're already going to be without your number one defender in the next game, and you don't want to lose anything else. That ball out of bounds off. I'll say it's off of Sinise, so that'll be a throw-in for the Green Knights. Long ball sent downfield, looking for Dursky. Coleman on the near side. We'll send that back to the defensive line. Vernig over to Rondalen. Rondalen upfield. Knocked down, but out of bounds off of St. Norbert's. That'll be a throw-in for Isaac Hernandez. blow that whistle for a grab on Gutierrez. So it'll be a free kick for the Cougars. They'll get things going quickly. Ball downfield. And they'll call it out of bounds, or they'll call a foul on the Cougars. So free kick for the Green Knights. Ball down in the corner to Escher, and they'll tag him for being offsides. Roundallen, upfield. Crossed in, all the way through and out of bounds. Staying on the ground for a minute and frustrated was Peyton Shills, just out of his reach, as the Cougars make a couple of substitutions. Castaneda forced to be that primary central defender for the remainder of this game. I'll pass it back to Guggio again and again. This one, Guggio will hold for a minute. Guggio slowly working his way up. He'll swing it over to Castaneda. Castaneda now moving down the sideline. Castaneda sends that upfield, and it's broken up and sent down by Vernick. Over to Delgado. Pass to Badillo. Etcher. Over. Now here goes Swissionis. Ben Swissionis looking to the corner to Coleman. Coleman holding in the corner, trying to get around Wangandu. And they'll call a foul on Wangandu. And they'll give a card to Delgado, who wasn't happy with either the penalty call or the fact that the official waited a while to make the foul call. So it'll be another free kick for the Green Knights. Feinted. Now here's Ben Swissionis. Cleared out by Ocampo. A nice rainbow to clear that out. That's out of bounds. Yeah, and with that yellow card, that makes it the third yellow card, fourth card in general, with having the straight yellow on Velasquez against the Cougars, all in the second half. So Halloween's coming early for the Cougars, but instead of a treat, they're getting a trick and picking up cards instead of candy here on October 5th. As Badillo knocks that down. Vernig will hold before he passes it back over to round Dahlin. Now Dahlin, long ball to the near side, touchdown. Going in is Coleman. Out, sends it outside. Back central. And it's broken up. Now taken away again by Capel. Out of bounds. And that'll be a goal kick for Guddio. You see the Cougars coaching staff warming up Chase Zizak on the sideline for what will likely be a keeper substitution soon. Punt downfield. Now get to the defensive line. Round Dahlin over to Vernig. Vernig, the sophomore out of Eskilstuna, Sweden. Vernig holding again. Working towards the near side. Gets it over to Coleman. Coleman sends that central. And there's the whistle. Foul on the Green Knights. Taking down Badillo. As I'm not sure how strong these mics are, you may or may not be able to hear the displeasure coming from the Cougar section in the bleachers. Right in front of us. It's very loud for us up here in the booth. Very clear. Badillo loses possession on that one. Ball into the box. Castaneda comes in, takes it away, and he'll boom that down the sideline. Bouncer into the box. Guddio jumps up and grabs it out of the air. That'll be one of the last plays Guddio makes today as Chase Zizak heads over to the scores table. Pass back to Guddio. And here goes Gutierrez for a run. He'll send it over to Badillo. Badillo down the line to Wangandu. Wangandu will just go back to Badillo. Back to Castaneda. Booming ball downfield. Knocked down, taken away by the Green Knights. So Vernig will start up that defensive passing again. Crossed in from the corner, knocked down by Gutierrez, cleared away. Garcia out to the sideline. They'll pass that back again. Now looking upfield for Garcia, knocked down, possession taken away by St. Norbert. St. Norbert's holding possession. Ecker swings it to Vernig. Vernig into space. Vernig tries to chip that in. Ecker into the box again. Chasing it down is Schwade, and he can't keep it in. That's out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick. Yeah, substitution for the Cougars, and that's that. Keeper sub out of the game is Nathan Gudioh. Into the game is Chase Zizak. That brings us to the 10-minute mark. 10 to go in River Forest. Castaneda passes back to Zizak. Zizak over to Gutierrez. Gutierrez, he's going for a bigger run this time, but his pass over to Wangandu is too far behind. There will be a throw-in for St. Norbert's. Coleman makes the throw. The Green Knights, they're content with us getting this one over too. You rarely will see a player throw a ball in from about 8 yards out of bounds on the track. So, strange happenings in River Forest today. And what a game where the mood has really entirely shifted in the last 20 minutes. Shot ripped, blocked down by the Cougar defense. Schwade passes back to his defense. Schwade, a lot of space, lays that off to Ecker. Ecker, looking middle, passes that back to Dursky. Dursky over to Vernig. Vernig back to Dursky. Into the box, looking for Schwade. Zizak comes out and picks it up. Castaneda over to Salamanca. There goes Wangandu going for a run. Wangandu finally broken up. Wangandu goes down line. Garcia trying to track it down. He can't get there. That pass downfield is out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. Andre Wangandu to take it. Castaneda going for a run. Sends it over to the far side to Pelayo. Pelayo double teamed. Passes back to his defense. Castaneda does a spin out to the outside. Trying to take it into space, and it's booted out of bounds to the St. Norbert bench. They'll throw that in straight to Zizak. Six to go. Vernig over to Coleman. Back to Vernig. Ecker back to Schwade and the defense. Going forward from here, St. Norbert will stay on the road as the Green Knights head out to Verona, Wisconsin to take on Edgewood University. Salamanca with some space sends it over to LeBoy. And that's boomed away by Rondallen. They head to Verona, so the St. Norberts will take on the Edgewood University on October 8th, Wednesday at 6 p.m. They'll look to move out to what will likely be a 3-game win streak, provided that the Cougars don't pull off a miracle in RF. The Cougars move on from here, still looking for their first conference win as they go on to take Concordia University, Wisconsin this Wednesday on October 8th as well. That game will be at 2 p.m. Actually, they stay here in River Forest to take on Concordia, Wisconsin. So that game will be here live on the Cougar Sports Network. The Cougars started out looking strong. They've started to slide a lot as conference play has gotten going. LeBoy pressuring that. And the Green Knights defense will start to pass it back and forth. Long ball into the corner, out of bounds. That'll be a throw-in for the Cougars. Ball out of bounds off of Concordia. It'll be a throw-in for the Green Knights. Just about 3 minutes to go in River Forest. And Reagan, on Concordia's end, coming out of this game, what do you really kind of do? How do you mentally move on from a game like this?
I think, honestly, just putting it in the past and just going on to the next game, because that's the best way to do it, especially they haven't won a conference game. They can't really reflect on much of losing, and they just need to go out to another game with a better mindset. And on that note, they just need to keep it together and not let their emotions take over, because a lot of times when they do that, then they create a lot of unnecessary fouls, and then that leads to multiple yellow cards and even a red card, as we've seen in this game.
Zizek sends that out to Gutierrez. A throw in for Concordia. Played down to the corner to Lukac. Down on the line. It gets past Zizek. But Shills again whiffs on an opportunity. Instead of kicking at the goal, he kicks it right of the goal, straight at the Zizek on the ground. So it stays at a 2-0 game. Garcia fighting for it on the ground. And that'll get into the corner. Out of bounds, it'll be a goal kick. Minute to go here in River Forest. You can tell the Cougars are just content with getting out of this one.
1 minute remaining in the game.
This team holding possession on the back line. Gutierrez, he's taking it up the middle, over to the near side, over to Salamanca. Salamanca, long ball to the middle to Badillo. Badillo brings it down. Badillo up to Garcia, over to Wangandu. Wangandu down into the corner to LeBoy. LeBoy tries to cross it in. It's out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick with 30 seconds left. LeBoy puts it down over Comes Pelayo to take it. Pelayo sends it over, and that'll get all the way to the back side.
10, 9, 8.
Knocked down. Garcia in the box, still loose. Cleared out of bounds by Rondalin.
2, 1.
That's how the game will end. St. Norbert. The Green Knights take down the Cougars 2-0 in River Forest. A tough, ugly loss for Concordia Chicago, as St. Norbert's will move on from here, look to move on to a three-game win streak against Edgewood this Wednesday. The Cougars, they look to move on from here and recover as they get ready to take on Concordia, Wisconsin this Wednesday at home. You'll be able to catch that action live on the Cougar Sports Network. But that'll be everything we have today from River Forest. Thank you to everyone who made today's broadcast possible, and thank you for tuning into the Cougar Sports Network. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network. Joining me today was Reagan Espinoza, and as always, roll Cougs.
So much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.